Example 12 tells us that we've got a piece of wire A, B, C, D, E, A that is 10 centimeters long, and it's bent to form this semicircle here with radius x and a rectangle added onto the bottom. So this dotted line isn't actually part of the wire, but it's the solid black line on the outside. That's your shape that the wire forms. So we have to show that the total area of A centimeters squared enclosed by the wire is A equals to 10x minus x squared over 2 pi plus 4. So this looks a little bit intimidating at first for the first part. So let's just break it up into things that we can manage, right? So we know that the area, our area A is going to equal to area of semicircle plus area of the rectangle, right? So what's the area of the semicircle going to be? Well, it's a circle with radius x is going to have area pi r squared. So a semicircle or half circle with radius x is going to have a half pi r squared, or pi, not r in this case, is it? It's pi x squared. So this is the area of the semicircle. What about the area of the rectangle? Well, that's going to be the area of AC, the length, sorry, of AC multiplied by the length of AE. So this part's alright. This is the interesting part. AC times AE. Well, actually, AC, in fact, isn't too bad. So this is still a half pi x squared plus. What's AC? Well, if from here to here is x, then from here to here must be 2x. What about AE? How do we calculate this length in here? Well, we have to actually go through and look at each part. So what is AE going to be equal to? Let's look at it a different way. We know we've got 10 centimeters to start with, right? That's got to be AE plus ABC, so this semicircle here, plus CD plus ED, right? ED we know. This is the same as AC. This is going to be 2 times x. CD and AE are going to be equal. That's also really, really nice. Right? So what is ABC? So okay, let's just 10 is equal to 2AE plus 2x plus whatever ABC is going to be. What's ABC? Well, this is just half the circumference of a circle with radius x, right? So what's the circumference of a circle? It's 2 pi r. So the circumference of the semicircular part is just going to be pi times the radius, or in this case, pi times x, right? So we actually find that AE is equal to 10 take 2x take pi x all over 2. Yep. And we can actually just substitute this into our equation. So this is 10 take 2x take pi x all over 2. And we can see straight away this 2 and this 2 are going to cancel out. We've just got an x now. So this is going to be a half pi x squared plus, then we've got x on the outside we still need to multiply in. So we get 10x take 2x squared take pi x squared. Fantastic. So actually you can see here we've got a half pi x minus pi x, so that's going to cancel out a little bit. What does that leave us with? We get our 10x here minus, so yeah, then we have a half pi x minus pi x, so that's going to leave us with negative a half pi x squared, sorry, x squared, not x, and then we've still got minus 2x squared. What does that give us? Well, if we factorize, that gives us 10x take x squared over 2. We'll factorize out this half and this x squared. So that leaves pi here, and this one didn't have a half, so it actually had, we double it to be 4, but it's not minus either because we've factorized out the minus as well. It's positive. And this is exactly what we wanted to show for part 1. So I think, yep, we're asked to show that the area is equal to 10x minus x squared over 2 bracket pi plus 4. And that's exactly what we've done. So what's part 2? Part 2, find x when a is equal to 1. So this is simple enough from where we've just been, right? We say 1 is equal to 10x minus x squared over 2 pi plus 4. Always keep a lookout for this type of question as well in the exam, because this is a question you can do. In this case, you can do part 2 even if you couldn't do part 1. So maybe you couldn't quite get part 1 to turn out perfectly. Don't give up on this question. Skip it, go to part 2, see what you can do. And in fact, part 3 can also be done without you having to know part 1's answer exactly. Anyway, sorry, I was rambling a bit there. What does this give us? Well, this actually gives us a quadratic, right? This gives us 0 is equal to, if we move everything over, minus, let me just rearrange this one. This is going to be pi plus 4 over 2 x squared plus 10x minus 1. This is now a quadratic equation, and it's got some horrible numbers in it, like pi. So let's not try and be too fancy and solve it using the quadratic formula or anything. All we just want to say is using GC and type it into your polysymbol app, and you should get these two answers. You should get x equals to 2.70 to 3SF, and this is going to be rejected. I'll explain why in a moment. Or you can get x is equal to 0.104 to 3SF, and this is actually our answer. Okay, why did we reject x equals to 2.7? Well, if x is equal to 2.7, then this length here, AE, is going to be negative. You remember what AE is equal to? If we look up here, AE is equal to 10 minus 2x minus pi x all over 2. If you substitute in 2.7 into this, you can see very clearly that this number here is going to be, this 2x plus pi x is going to be bigger than 10. So when you take 10 minus 2x minus pi x, it's going to be a negative number. So we can't have that. So we have to take the other value of x, in this case 0.104. So that's our value for x. Find x. Yep, good. Part 3. So this was part 2. Part 3. Can a exceed 8? Justify your answer. Well, oops. Where are we? Hello? Can a exceed... Oh, it doesn't want to behave today. Can a exceed 8? Well, what was a equal to? Suppose we had 8 equal to a, which is 10x minus x squared over 2 pi plus 4, right? So that if we moved everything to the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, we'd get 0 is equal to, same as before, minus pi plus 4 over 2 x squared plus 10x minus 8, right? So what can we say? Well, let's consider the discriminant. Let's just look at this part here, the actual equation. What is the discriminant of this equation? Discriminant, b squared take 4ac is going to be 10 squared take 4 by minus 4a, so pi plus 4 over 2, c, which is minus 8, right? And this is going to be equal to negative, if you type this into your GC, you find that this is equal to negative 14.3 to 3 significant figures, which is less than 0. Right? So what we can say is sorry. Where are we now? I think I've gone up. There's the previous one. Here we are. Okay, sorry. Right. So the discriminant is less than 0. So since our coefficient since minus pi plus 4 over 2 is less than 0, we can say minus pi plus 4 over 2x squared plus 10x minus 8 must always be less than 8. Less than 0 for all x, for all real x. So in that case, we can say that 10x minus x squared over 2 pi plus 4 must be less than 8 for all real x. So in this case, this is of course a must be less than 8. Therefore, a cannot be greater than 8. And we are finished.